Hello and welcome to the best mods for Xbox PC, where we will be looking at some of the best mods to check out each and every single day, or at least that's the aim. There'll be something here for everyone, definitely worth checking out. Use the chapters where you need them. If you do get anything out of this, consider liking, subscribing. It goes a really long way. Appreciate your time. Let's get into it.
Here we have the Sub-Orbital Shuttle SOS8. This is a paid mod costing 300 credits, but we do get an interesting new vehicle. Some of the things people will like is the boost. You have unlimited boost with this bad boy. The thing that caught my attention was this one line where it says modified driving characteristics, because that is what is most important to me. Has the experience been modified enough to warrant a 300 credits? Well, it's certainly been modified, and it's overall a very silky smooth and new vehicle experience. It's going to be a great new way to fly around planets. It really is. It's very nimble, turns quite sharply, and has a lot of boost. So it's going to be much better than any vehicle, particularly on Xbox, that you've used so far. Being able to really just pump through the terrain at crazy breakneck speeds because you'll have so much boost. So from all the different vehicles I've tested that are trying to sort of emulate this is by far the best one that's done it so far. The overall shape and dynamics of it feel very smooth. What I would love to see is Bethesda introduce side thrusters so we could rotate. That would be mad. Just assign that to the Q and E key on PC and we could have some mad rotating fun. Now this vehicle comes with a few other unique aspects. When you purchase it from the technician, you will be able to change its colors. As an example, I've changed it to yellow, and then we can change the top weapon mount to red. It's only the bottom and missile mount, but at least it gives you some options, which a lot of the other vehicle mods won't. Now do note when it's on the ground, it feels quite good as well. It sort of pivots off the center there, but again, it turns quite sharp and it feels very smooth. And with boost, it is very quick as well. So the weapon that comes with this vehicle is a rocket launcher. So we'll test this out. It does a reasonable amount of damage. We'll be able to fluctuate this with Shade's vehicle mod and really spice this up, just see if that will work. So we got the primary weapon scaler. Let's see if we can go 20 times. Should do a lot more damage now. It does work with Shade's vehicle mod. The good thing about this weapon is that it does fire very fast. So you won't be disappointed with the performance of the weapon. Could use a little bit more damage, but we'll just use Shade's mod to balance that out. But it is a lot of fun because it feels a little bit more like a helicopter. It's much easier to float and hover. Now do note I have a funny companion, so it looks pretty weird, but I'll just show you what it looks like with Vasco. Now do note, for me, I still get the obstructed vehicle quite regularly, so I do need, once again, Shade's mod to get out of vehicles a lot of the time. Okay, my Vasco is munted, but let's just see what it looks like. He will jump in. So he looks like he sits at the back, similar to where the four-legged dog was. So just something to note there. It will look a little bit funny with Vasco sitting on the back. This one is brought to us by Bud200. So I certainly think a lot of people will enjoy this, but if you're looking for free options, there is plenty out there as well. Quite a solid mod. Let's keep moving. Here we have another paid mod. This is the Raijin Heavy Revolver. This mod will cost 300 credits. It comes with 3 or 4, give or take, revolver weapons. Now this is the Constellation Beacon. It looks pretty damn unreal. I really like the almost cartoonish sort of look to it. Looks fantastic. And zooming in, the detail is immaculate. Here we have the explosive Raijin Revolver. So this will be interesting to test. But again, just look at the detail on this. This is actually pretty remarkable. They look superb. Then you'll have the Newton's Cradle, and this thing looks freaking rad. Have to say, these models are top notch and they look very cool. How futuristic but realistic does this look? Almost looks like some kind of railgun. This is going to be cool to test out. Finally, we have the more delicate approach of the suppressed black sheep. Now the cool thing about this is they come with a ton of upgrades, so we're just going to check out some of those upgrades now for each of these weapons. But just before we do, just zooming in and getting a look at these textures. Absolutely gorgeous. Also noting we have the cool rounds in the chamber at the back there. Okay, starting off with the Constellation Beacon. The barrel is locked. However, we have a laser sight we can add. We have a short scope or a reflex scope. For the muzzle, we can add muzzle brake or a suppressor. For the magazine, the usual sort of suspects here. Now what it would have been cool is if all the attachments could also be color coded towards this. I'm guessing these modifications are all the ones that come with the weapon. I won't go through all the upgrades, but you get the idea. This is what the Newton looks like with a few of the upgrades. Maybe it'd be cool to have the silencer red as well. Here we have the crazy double barrel heavy revolver. Looks pretty gnarly with the double barrel. And we have the black sheep, which probably from a color palette perspective is probably the best looking. And this is the black sheep. And here we have the Constellation Beacon. Again, it would be nice to have the other attachments color-coded for completeness. So Newton's Cradle, this weapon is pretty damn insane. It fires like 3 rounds of explosive lasers and it absolutely punishes. Probably more designed, at least in this configuration, for close combat, but you get the idea. It's firing a lot of different rounds, does quite a good amount of area damage. But it's kind of cool because you don't have to aim too well. You just got to aim near them or aim at their feet, does a good amount of damage, pushes them back. And it is an interesting feeling weapon, a little bit different to other pistols, which is excellent because it kind of reminds me a little bit of a weapon from Destiny 2. Can't remember what the pistol was, but it was an amazing pistol where you'd fire it and you land 3 shots and I think you get an explosion. I would say that it's the same with all the various pistols. They have a very different, unique feel. Being a resolver, you got quite a lot of kickback, so you're gonna have to get your shots down quite accurately. So just showing you a bit closer, this is the Cradle. It's firing so many different laser rounds. Now here we have the double barrel revolver. So you definitely want to get close up with these weapons. They're very much pistols, which is good because it makes it a bit more realistic. So you'll find the Constellation and the double barrel heavy revolver pretty much feel the same. Here we have the Black Sheep. Black Sheep with the scope on has a cool, nice little red dot crosshair and can be very good for your long range, as it's particularly with the scope. But being pistols, these guys are true to their name. You definitely want to be close range. Some other cool aspects to this mod is that there is additional attachments designed for NG+ to keep it viable even after several playthroughs. It's also injected seamlessly into the game leveled list, and there are several hand placements within the game world as well. But overall, these weapons are fantastic. It's a very cool gun mod. Would recommend this. So we're just going to take a look at a couple little ship mods. This first one is called Multiple Landing Bays. This is once again by PYLB, and if we go to the landing gear tab, we'll be able to actually add as many of the various landing bay areas that we would like. So for instance, let's say if we just wanted to throw one at the frontier and duplicate it, have 3 entries to the one ship, and then just clear the weapon area, and then we're good to go. And there you have it, multiple bays. It's pretty nice. This is perfect for someone just looking for this change and this change alone. There are other mods that I believe do this already. One of a Kind comes to mind. I believe you can have multiple. Correct me if I'm wrong. However, this mod will do the same thing and give you fully functional hubs that you'll be able to enter your ship. Do note, some of them do say inaccessible, so some of them are a bit clunky, at least from my testing, but for the most part, they should work, no worries. Nice mod allowing multiple landing bays on your ship. Another small mod, this is no ship doors, and this is by PYLB again, and I really like this one. It just removes all the doors in your ship. So for me, I find this extremely handy, so you might find this useful. I would have loved this mod early on when I first started playing, particularly just when I was spending a lot of time boarding and taking ships and spending a lot more time on my ship. So it could be a good choice for you. It's just going to remove all the doors, making it very easy to just run around the whole place. Nice little mod. Let's keep moving. Now this next mod is really freaking cool to see on Xbox. Not sure if it exists already, but this is something I was infatuated with when I first started playing Starfield, and that was trying to build a self-contained outpost on the landing pad, and also just trying to be able to connect an outpost directly to the landing pad. Now this mod is terrific because it allows that. It's called Builder. This is by Naruk, and this is freaking awesome because now what we'll be able to do is finally be able to place hubs or entries to hubs, entries to bases directly onto the landing pad. This is freaking cool. And look at this, like it's so smooth, because in the past you had to do a little bit of mucking around. There's been a few mods that do this, but this is by far the easiest and nicest. So this extends not just to the airlocks, this will extend to pretty much all the big hubs. Just to give you an example, the mod is just allowing for overlap between these big modules, which gives so much more flexibility when building and crafting these kind of build ideas, particularly for your landing pad only builds. So it's really nice to see. So this could be fantastic if you haven't tried building a landing pad outpost. Highly recommend it. You can build a little town or a little base just on the outskirts and have everything surrounding your ship. Some really cool videos and builds out there on YouTube. Make sure you read the notes with this one, as it just comes with a few suggestions to be mindful of. Most notably, if you are starting a new game, you may need to save and reload for this mod to install. But just to give you an idea, here is some of the cool stuff you can do. Heaps of different hubs, all connected to the landing pad. So cool to see this. So lots of optionality here. Fantastic mod. Let's keep moving. Now to show this next mod, we're just going to get a little bit of a view of the ship at night. And do note, I do have mod on that is probably making the launch pad light up like that. But in any case, this is what the ship looks like without this mod. So we're going to jump in and turn this mod on. And then here it is in all its glory with all the additional lights. Now I've got tons of lights facing downwards to light up the ground. But you can face them in all the various different directions, really bringing your ship to life. But I love that we can have these like emergency lights. You'll be able to see your ship from so far away, especially if you put a lot of lights on the top. It's a really nice subtle feature, but man, oh man, it makes a difference. This will be perfect for darker nights or pitch black nights. This is SETI, or Ship Exterior True Illumination by Boss Dragon. And shipbuilders are going to freaking lose their mind over this. I know it's just some lighting changes, but man, it is beautiful. So you'll need to go into your builder and actually equip these lights. Quite a few of the vanilla cockpits landing gear have been updated to include lights. Do note you will need to put down your equipment plates to be able to place the lights on your ship without any errors. At least that was my experience. So one of the other cool aspects to this mod is that the spaceship headlights will work in space and actually light up some distant objects, but you'll have to make sure you put the right lights on and face in the right direction. But here you can still see all the lights are on and it looks glorious. A few other things that this mod will do is that it's going to improve the vanilla ship landing engines. It's going to illuminate a wider area during takeoff and landing sequence. So let us go land on the dark side of a moon. Whoa, yeah. So you can see it's quite a big difference there. Really nice to see. Makes a lot more sense and much more realistic. The other really nice touch is that vanilla boost packs will now make a huge amount of light around you when you use them. I really enjoy this change. It makes it so much more realistic. I'll just show you what it looks like. And then if we assign another jetpack, just keep in mind that only vanilla ones will be impacted. This is what it normally looks like. So what a difference. Very cool mod, adding so much more realism and lights to your ship and experience. Recommend this mod. Let's keep moving. Here we have another ship habitation mod. This is called Ship Extension by Bloodworth. Do you note that the original mod is done by Henrique, but this adds about 9 or 10 various habs, and some of these are much more unique. Now I do note Matilaha has a few similar habs to these kind of shapes, but this could be perfect for something you're trying to build. I do note there's a few configuration differences here. Basically we have the aft and the fore, and that principle will extend to all these various habs. Cool thing is we have a splitter here. These are very handy habs to have and can create some really unique shapes. Do note I have the place your doors yourself, and I haven't added any doors, so this is going to look a little different for you. But just to give you an idea of what some of these giant habs look like, particularly like these long hallway sort of stairwell habs. Here is the double stair variation, so it's got stairs on either end. But the main idea I think with a lot of these habs is just to be able to add stairs, so you won't have to use ladders. Now normally there'd be a door here, but we're just going to go through, and here we have the cool little habs which will also not have a door because I've got the door mod on, but that would connect, go through another door, and then that would get us down these stairs, which looks very trippy. But basically we're just inside this connecting hab here, and then we enter in the splitting habs, and you can see where all the door placements would go, and this is another of the splitters. But that's just a quick rundown, eliminating some of the needs to have extra doors, extra habs, and ladders. Now do note all the ship parts keep their company tags, so you'll find them where those company modules are usually found. So for Stroud pieces, can be found at Aquila or the Stroud shipyard. Neat little hab mod. Let's keep moving. Another paid mod here called Outpost Mission Board Enhanced. This is by center.pat. So this is sort of an extension or an enhancement from the build your outpost mission boards at your outpost, or whatever the mod's called, which will allow you to build all the various mission boards from all the various factions. So building the mission boards, this you can get for free as a free mod. Now, pretty much everything beyond that other than accessing them is a part of this paid mod, which will cost you 200 credits. If we go into our settings, here we have 11 custom settings related to this mod. Basically, the intention with this mod is to give us complete flexibility to dynamically enhance our experience with mission boards. Here we can increase the rewards as well, making doing bounties insanely profitable or lucrative. The more important functionality to me is the difficulty multiplier, allowing you to increase the level that you'd normally experience. So this will be 50 plus levels above your own level. Make sure if you do adjust any of these settings that you give it 30 seconds. The other thing it adds the little custom icon into your builder for all the various different mission boards. There is meant to be a master terminal that will display all available quests from any faction, but I'm having trouble locating that. Could be an overlap of my mods. And beyond that, there's not too much more, but this could be functionality that you've been well sought after, particularly the game options and getting much better rewards. Me personally, I'm not so sure about this. I'd be quite happy just sticking to the base version of just having these available on my ship. There is one key thing to mention. You won't be able to build these mission boards unless you've actually done the related faction missions. So keep that in mind. You won't have these available straight off the bat. You will have to earn them through unlocking the faction quest. Let's keep moving. This next mod is only on PC, but I really hope it comes to Xbox, because this is one I was after as soon as I got to Varun Kai. And this is called Shattered Space No Red Fog. And all this mod does is just remove that rather disappointing red fog everywhere. At least for me, I really did not enjoy that aspect, so it's really nice to see a nice clear Varun Kai. This mod was created by Mr. Troublemaker, but now we can enjoy Varun Kai in a much more realistic sort of lighting and presentation, as all it does is simply remove the red tint from the fog. The lighting is still red. That might change after as well. I really hope he does change that. Me personally, I would like Varun Kai just to be a clear look and place, but that's just me. This mod works best with neutral LUTs or neutral LUTs Shattered Space. Really nice to see this mod. Let's keep moving.